made this space a place where we can have free, no strings attached, pure knowledge and equations in these people. And it's built out of two things: the speakers who have came to influence you, and all of you who are a group of souls that are curious about the world, and you're here to broaden your minds, and I think that is fabulous. And so I hope that you guys get out of tonight a chance to sit back, relax, enjoy, and soak up all the information that you can, and then go out and have the ability and the passion to accomplish your dreams. And so tonight, if you help me in welcoming our MC for the evening, Nick White.
Good.
Good, thank you. Nick, I'm awesome. Okay, well tonight we are talking about dreams. This past week we celebrated MLK Day, and he had a dream, to change the world peacefully. And first up tonight we have Meg Couture.
Yeah, Meg. Woo! Megan. Woo!
You're awesome.
A couple weeks ago, something happened. A couple weeks ago, I was riding on the city bus, drinking some coffee and trying to read a book. And I was just hit by this overwhelming feeling that the world is not what I used to think it was. It was like all the hurt, sadness, pain, suffering, injustice that I had been exposed to or heard about my whole life finally sunk in. It just piled up on me. It suddenly seemed real. I used to believe that the world was a good place, that everyone could be trusted, that it was safe and maybe even happy. But on that bus and in that moment, I was suddenly hit by this realization that it just wasn't. Now, this account might sound depressing, sad, maybe even hopeless. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that it was completely the opposite. It was like reality and I were staring each other in the face and waiting for the other one to blink. In that moment of realization, I also experienced this sense of hope. I've always been hopeful and positive, but all of a sudden, in that moment, it seemed so much more real and important. Sometimes hope can be annoying. It makes it really hard to give up, and I always feel like if I just work hard enough, I can do it, I can succeed. And in that moment, on that bus, in that moment when that very unshakable hope was threatened, I didn't blink. I realized that even though the world is a major bummer, and there are so many injustices and bad things, I can't give up on it. I have to make it better. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Sahara Desert. Well, it's pretty big. It's over 3 million square miles, and it's estimated to have a 1 with 25 zeros after it, grains of sand. Okay, so I want you to envision that somehow someone was lowered over the Sahara Desert, and they had a pair of tweezers. And while they were hovering over this ginormous expanse of sand, they picked up 1 grain of sand in their tweezer and moved it 1 inch from where it was supposed to be. Then this person gets raised back up into the helicopter or whatever it was, and leaves. By moving that 1 grain of sand just 1 inch, that person just changed the Sahara Desert. By moving that 1 piece of sand, it changed that piece of sand's direction and perspective on the rest of the desert. That means that piece of sand being moved also changed that every other piece of sand's direction and perspective on the rest of the desert. By moving that 1 piece of sand, that person just changed the Sahara Desert. But my question tonight is, why should we stop there? Changing 1 light, 1 perspective, 1 direction does change the world. But ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that changing the world isn't enough. We should be making amazing sandcastles and those cool glass things that the guy from Sweet Home Alabama makes during thunderstorms. We should be picking up as much sand as our hands can hold and be throwing it in as many directions as possible. A couple weeks ago, my view of the world changed. The world is full of badness and sad people and broken systems, but we need to start to have a hope and